In today's video, I'm going to be covering all different ways on how you can spruce up the curb appeal on your property, and we're going to get to that right now. Hi, if you're new to this channel and you want to learn all there is to know about the Kansas City area, that's including all the different suburbs, where to eat, where to sleep, what to do, all things Kansas City, then be sure and subscribe to this channel and click that bell so that you can be the first to learn about all the things that I post. And I love helping people transition from one property to the next, and we have just a grand old fun time doing it, and I get texts and emails and phone calls all the time from people just like you who want help in transitioning into one property or the next. And I help people move into the city, move out of the city. And speaking of that, if you are looking to move out of the city, or even if you're in another market and you need help finding a top-notch agent, then be sure and still send me a message, give me a call, shoot me that text, and I will help you find a top-notch agent in your market. And I'd love to help you do that. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about all different kinds of things that you can do to spruce up your property and your curb appeal. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is your front door. You can do all kinds of things to your front door. You can touch up the paint, you can do new color to your front door, and then a couple of other things you can do is, why don't you add a wreath to your front door? You can also make a commitment to yourself that you're going to change out that wreath every single holiday, or maybe every month, or just do seasonal change outs. Whatever you do, you can spruce it up continually throughout the year with the new wreath. Another thing that you can do is add new hardware. You can do one of the keyless entries with the little code buttons, or you can do a Ring doorbell. Anything like that to spruce up your front door is great. Another thing you can do to your property is you can add little planters to your windows. If your windows need sprucing up, a little color is not going to hurt them at all. In fact, it's going to make your curb appeal just that much more pretty. Doing all kinds of flowers in the planters. If you don't want to do a planter on the window seal, then what you could do is just repaint all the framing of the windows. And also, if you don't have any shutters, you can always add shutters to add a little spruce to it. And if you do have shutters and you want a new color, it's an easy way to spruce up the front of your house. This third thing that I'm going to talk about is power washing. It's super easy. You can rent a power washer, or you can hire somebody to do it for you in case you don't want to power wash. Now, there are lots of different places that you can power wash. You can power wash your walkway, your deck, your patio, your driveway, and you can power wash your actual house. Now, I will say this, that when you're doing your house and you have siding, there are a lot of people that have algae or some kind of growth on the side of it, and they power wash it down, and then that algae comes back. Well, sometimes it is not algae, but it's actually black mold. Sometimes there's just moisture that gets in there. And so if you have that problem and you need to power wash your house again, I would consider hiring somebody to do it, because they have specific solutions that will be used, and some of those solutions are so powerful that they give a 10-year warranty. If they use that product, then it won't come back. So be sure and take a look at what is growing on your house, and if it is truly black mold or something like that, you certainly don't want to get it into your property, but be sure and power wash it, get that off, and use the solution so that it doesn't come back. Okay, number 4 is a fun one. How about changing out your mailbox? Some of you live in subdivisions where there's a homes association where they require permission if you need to change it out, because maybe there's a consistency going on. So always ask for permission, and always make sure that you are following the rules of the United States Postal Service when you're changing something out like that. But if you need a little sprucing up, getting a new mailbox would be a fantastic thing to do. All right, something a little bit more expensive, but some of you might need to paint the outside of your house. There are lots of different ways to do it. Maybe you just need a touch-up, or maybe you need a full paint job on the outside of your house. Some people even like painting the stone and the brick on the outside. But if you need a paint job, now's the time to do it. Go ahead and think about it. It'll definitely give you a better curb appeal. Okay, this is a fun one, and it has to do with all about the numbers on your house. So what if you got some planters, some cute planters, and maybe your number is 1, 2, 3, and you got 3 different planters, and you painted the number 1 on one, number 2 on the other, and number 3 on the other, and put them all cute on the side of your driveway. Do something fun like that, putting planters on your driveway, or having your household numbers some way on your property to make it cute. little addition. Number 7 is super fun, and it totally touches my heart. I love a lot of light, and so 7 is all about lights. So you can add solar lights to your driveway, your walkway. You can line your yard with solar lights. You can add porch lights. Now make sure you change those light bulbs out and put LED lights on there. They seem to be a bit brighter. You can also add motion lights to your garage area. Some people will even put string lights around their properties, whether you have some kind of yard decor or a fence or whatever, but lights around your area are so fantastic. And you can actually use different colored lights. So I have a neighbor who has put up LED lights around his whole entire house, and they are working from a remote, and he can change out the colors depending on the season throughout the whole entire year. And so his lights are always on, and it's always fun to see what color that he has in every given season. Another idea is to add hummingbird feeders and plants that attract butterflies and things like that that will grab for animals around your property. And so adding a lot of plants, and even if it's just a few here and there to add some color, it's always a great way to add curb appeal. Now let's talk about your porch. Your porch is something that people see from the street all the time. So what my suggestion would be is to drive along the street and look at your house from a fresh set of eyes and just look and see if there's anything that needs to be spruced up. And if it's your porch, you can go ahead and take your furniture and repaint it. You can go and refurbish some. You can get new furniture, but just sprucing up your porch is another fantastic way to add some curb appeal. Speaking of furniture, another great way to add curb appeal to your property is to add a gazebo. Usually patios are on the back end of your property, so it's not always something that is seen, but people from behind can actually see into people's yards, especially if you're backed up to a neighbor or you've got a really big yard and people can see your patio from afar. Then having a gazebo is another great way to spruce up even your backyard for people to see. My sister has a gazebo, and it is so cute. She has hung a lot of lights through it. She decorates it. She hangs plants. She puts new furniture out there sometimes. She switches it up. It's just so cute what she has done to it, and it has inspired me. So you never know who you might inspire with the things that you do on your curb appeal. Okay, number 11 is a really fun one, and it deals with your garage. A lot of times people don't even know that they can do something with their garage. They just think painting it is about it. Well, what I would suggest is you can add handles to it. You can add hinges to it. You can even add fake windows to it after you paint it. It adds some neat decor to your garage. It adds a neat fresh look, and it also can add to your curb appeal. Let's talk about your fence. All right, so a lot of you forget to maintain your fence, or it just seems to go at the very end of your list when it comes to home maintenance. And I'm telling you, it is a great thing to consider doing, whether that is replacing the whole entire fence, or whether that's just a paint job, or whether that is actually getting it restained, or fixing some of the broken boards, or you can add planters to it or spruce it up. So I've even seen people put little pictures on the sides of their fence or doing something like that that would make it cute. Another thing is people can actually string lights to your fence as well. These are just a few other ways that you can spruce up your fence without spending a lot of money. All right, number 13 is another thing that people often forget is their concrete in their driveway. Now, one way to spruce up your curb appeal is to take care of that chipped driveway. Go and get a bag of concrete and mix it up and fix it in there. But it will spruce up your curb appeal, especially if you've got a lot of decay on there from the salt trucks and just wear and tear. So be sure to take a look at your concrete, whether that's your driveway, your walkway, your stairs, and see if there's anything that you can do to spruce that up as well. And last but not least is your deck. Make sure that when you look at your deck, you wipe it off, clean it off. A good clean would do wonders. So that's whether that's power washing or just sweeping it. But then there's also the idea of what about restaining it? Decks are really fantastic to have, and you want them to make sure that they stay intact, that they don't get any wood rot. If there are boards that need to be replaced, you replace them quickly, and make sure that you take care of that deck because it is such a value added to any property. And these are all just ideas and fun things that you could do to spruce up your curb appeal. If you have any other things that I've forgotten, be sure and post it in the comments. I would love to hear what you have done to increase and spruce up your curb appeal. If you like this video, please also give it a thumbs up and be sure and subscribe to my channel and click that bell so that you can be the first to learn about anything that I post. Also, too, my contact information is below, so feel free to call, text, email, direct message me any way you want, and we'll talk real estate all day long. To buy or sell, call Anita Cordell, #AnitaHome, because there's no place like home.